Chill English Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Chill English Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Chloe. It's so good to be with you all again.
It certainly is. Today we have a topic that is, I must admit, one of my personal favorites. We are on day 7 of our learning journey, and we're going to be talking about how to plan your week, specifically the art of getting organized on a Sunday.
The art of Sunday planning? Wow, Alex, you make it sound so grand. For me, Sunday is for coffee, comfy sweaters, and trying not to think about Monday. That feeling of Sunday evening dread is real.
I know what you mean, and that's exactly what we want to help with today. A little bit of planning can completely eliminate that feeling. We're not just going to scratch the surface today, we're going to dive deep into the strategies, the mindset, and of course, the essential English vocabulary, idioms, phrases, and phrasal verbs that you can use when talking about organization and planning.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So if you're someone who likes to plan every detail, or if you're like me and prefer to go with the flow, I think you'll find something useful today. Let's get into it.
All right, Chloe, picture this. It's Sunday morning. The sun is shining. You've got your favorite mug of coffee. What's the first thing on your mind?
Honestly, it's about enjoying the moment. I try to ease into the day. No alarms, no rush. I might put on some music, read a book, or just sit and watch the world go by. I really try to protect my Sunday morning peace. The idea of immediately starting to plan the week feels a bit intense.
I completely understand that, and I agree that the morning should be slow. But for me, that quiet coffee time is actually the perfect moment to start thinking about the week ahead. It's when my mind is clearest. I feel like if I don't get a head start on Sunday, I'll be playing catch-up for the rest of the week.
Get a head start. That's a good one. It sounds like something a runner would do in a race.
Exactly. And that's our first key phrase, to get a head start. It means to start something before others or before the main event, to gain an advantage. Just like in a race, if you start a little earlier, you're ahead of the competition. In this case, the competition is the busy week itself.
So you could say, I'm studying this weekend to get a head start on the new university semester.
Precisely. Or, let's leave for the coast early tomorrow morning to get a head start on the holiday traffic. It's all about being proactive. The opposite, in a way, is what you often say you like to do, Chloe.
What's that?
You prefer to play it by ear.
Ah, yes, I definitely do. To play it by ear means you don't make a firm plan. You decide what to do as the situation develops. It comes from music, right? Like when musicians improvise a song without any sheet music, they are literally playing it by ear.
That's the origin, yes. So my Sunday planning is the opposite of playing it by ear. My first step is to grab my calendar and my notebook, and I begin to map out the week.
Map out the week? Okay, you sound like an explorer now, Alex. An explorer of the 7 days ahead.
I suppose so. To map out something means to plan it in detail. Think of a real map. It shows you all the roads, the cities, the mountains. It gives you the big picture. When I map out my week, I'm creating a visual guide for my time.
What does that involve exactly? Do you schedule every single minute?
Not every minute. That would be too rigid even for me. First, I look at the big picture. I put in any fixed appointments, doctor's visits, important meetings, deadlines. These are what I call the non-negotiables. Then, I look at the gaps.
See, even hearing that makes me feel a little bit overwhelmed. My calendar is mostly empty, and I kind of like it that way.
And that's a valid approach. But for me, seeing it all written down gives me peace of mind. It means the information isn't just floating around in my head, which is a recipe for anxiety. This leads me to my next and perhaps most important step, the brain dump.
The what? A brain dump? That sounds messy.
It sounds messy, but it's incredibly cleansing. I take a blank page in my notebook, and I jot down absolutely everything that's on my mind. Every task, big or small. Email the marketing team, buy more coffee beans, call my mom, prepare for the Wednesday presentation, pick up dry cleaning, everything. I just write until I can't think of anything else. It helps me to clear my head.
Okay, I think I can get behind that. Jot down is a nice phrasal verb. It means to write something down quickly and informally, right?
Exactly. You don't need perfect sentences. You just jot down notes or ideas. After the brain dump, my head feels empty and the paper is full. Now the magic happens. Prioritization. I look at this giant list and I apply a principle I learned about. Tackle the big rocks first.
Tackle the big rocks first? Is this a geology lesson now? First mapping, now rocks.
It's a metaphor. Imagine you have an empty glass jar. You also have some big rocks, some small pebbles, and some sand. If you put the sand and pebbles in first, you won't have room for the big rocks. But if you put the big rocks in first, the pebbles and sand can fill the space around them.
Oh, I see. So the big rocks are your most important, high priority tasks, the ones that really move you toward your goals.
You've got it. The Wednesday presentation is a big rock. Buying coffee beans is sand. I identify my 2 to 3 big rocks for the week, and I schedule them into my calendar first. I block out time specifically for them. For example, I'll block out 2 hours on Tuesday morning just for that presentation.
To block out time, that means to reserve a period of time in your schedule for a specific activity, so nothing else can be planned then. That's smart. I often find that my whole day gets eaten up by small, unimportant things, and then I have no energy left for the important stuff. I feel like I often bite off more than I can chew.
That's a fantastic idiom, Chloe. Let's explore that. To bite off more than you can chew. Can you explain what that feels like, Chloe?
It perfectly captures a feeling of being overwhelmed. For me, it feels like I've said yes to too many things. I'll agree to help a friend, take on a new project at work, and plan a dinner party all in the same week. By Wednesday, I'm exhausted, and I realize I can't possibly do it all well. I've taken a bigger bite of responsibilities than I can possibly chew or manage. It's a very visual idiom.
It is, and it's the primary reason I plan. It prevents me from biting off more than I can chew. By mapping out the week, I can clearly see what's realistic. Sometimes I have to say, that's a great idea, but I can't this week. Let's schedule it for next week.
I need to get better at that. My list of tasks often feels endless, and it's hard to know where to start. Sometimes I just get sidetracked by something easy, like replying to simple emails.
And that's a common trap. To get sidetracked means to get distracted from your main task or goal. That's why tackling the big rocks first is so effective. If you do the most important thing first, even if you get sidetracked later, you've already accomplished something significant.
This is making a lot of sense. So you've done your brain dump, you've identified your big rocks. What's next on your Sunday planning agenda?
Meal prepping.
Ah, the famous meal prep Sunday. I've tried this so many times. It always seems like a brilliant idea on Sunday morning, but by the afternoon, it often feels like too much work. For me, it's a classic case of easier said than done.
It can be, but I have a system. For me, meal prepping is a way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Okay, hold on. 2 idioms back to back. First, easier said than done. This one is pretty self-explanatory. It means something seems like a good or simple idea in theory, but it's actually very difficult to do in practice. Like my goal to wake up at 6 a.m. every day. Super easier said than done.
A perfect example.
And the second one I used, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. This is a very common idiom for efficiency. It means to achieve 2 different goals with a single action.
How does meal prepping do that for you?
Well, the first bird is saving time during the week. I don't have to think about what to cook for lunch or spend time preparing it every day.
The second bird is that it ensures I eat healthy. When I'm busy, my first instinct is to order unhealthy takeout. But if I have a healthy pre-made meal ready to go, I'll eat that instead. So one action, spending 2 hours cooking on Sunday, solves two problems for the week ahead.
That's clever. You save time and you eat better. You really killed two birds with one stone. I usually just end up making a huge pot of chili or soup. That's my version of batch cooking.
Batch cooking is a great term for it. It's a form of meal prep where you cook a large quantity, a big batch, of one dish to be eaten over several days. That absolutely counts. The goal is to have grab-and-go meals ready for the busy weekdays.
Grab and go. I like that. It sounds quick and efficient, just like you, Alex.
So after I've prepped my lunches, there's one final step to my Sunday ritual. This is the one that really helps me feel ready for Monday morning. I lay out my clothes for the next day.
You choose your outfit the night before? Wow, I'm usually staring into my closet in a panic 5 minutes before I need to leave the house.
See, this little 5-minute task on Sunday evening saves me from that exact panic on Monday morning. I check the weather, pick an outfit, and lay it all out. It means when I wake up, I don't have to make any decisions. I can just get up and get ready. The goal is to be able to hit the ground running on Monday morning.
Hit the ground running. We hear this one a lot in business, don't we?
We do. It means to start a new activity or job with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and to be successful from the very beginning. You don't need time to slowly learn or adapt. You're effective immediately. So, by preparing everything on Sunday, I'm setting myself up to hit the ground running as soon as my alarm goes off on Monday.
It's all about a smooth start. It reminds me of the classic comparison, the early bird versus the night owl. You, Alex, are clearly an early bird.
I am. An early bird is someone who likes to wake up early and is most productive in the morning. It comes from the proverb, "The early bird gets the worm." It implies that starting early leads to success.
And I am a classic night owl. I get my best ideas and do my best work late at night. My brain doesn't really switch on until about 11 a.m. So the idea of hitting the ground running at 7 a.m. is my nightmare.
And that's a perfect illustration of how different people work best at different times. My planning system is designed for an early bird. A night owl might plan their week differently, maybe doing their big rocks tasks in the evening. The point is to have a plan that works for you.
So after all this planning, the mapping, the brain dump, the meal prep, laying out your clothes, are you exhausted or do you finally relax?
That's the final, crucial step. The whole point of doing this is to free up my mind so I can relax. After everything is planned, usually by about 4 or 5 p.m., I completely switch off. I make sure to set aside time to wind down.
Okay, wind down. That's a phrasal verb I use all the time. To wind down means to relax and rest after a period of activity or stress. It's like a clock that you've wound up and now you're letting it slowly unwind.
Perfect analogy. I'll read a book, watch a movie with my family, or listen to a podcast like this one. I don't check my work email. I don't think about my to-do list because it's already written down and organized for the week. I have followed through on my plan.
To follow through. That means to continue with an action or a plan until it is completed. A lot of people make plans, but not everyone follows through.
It's the most important part. A plan is useless if you don't act on it. But yes, that act of planning buys me a truly peaceful Sunday evening. It gives me that peace of mind we talked about earlier.
I have to admit, Alex, you've almost convinced me. The idea of no Sunday evening dread and waking up on Monday feeling prepared instead of panicked, it sounds pretty good. Maybe I'll try the brain dump and big rocks method this week. Just maybe.
That's all I can ask for. The goal isn't to be a planning robot, but to use planning as a tool to create more space for the things we enjoy.
All right, that was a lot of information, but hopefully very useful. Let's do a quick recap of the key phrases and idioms we discussed today. We can group them to make it easier.
Great idea. Let's start with the phrases for getting started and making a plan.
Okay. To get a head start, to begin before others, to gain an advantage, to dive deep, to explore a topic in great detail, to map out something, to plan something in detail, the big picture, the overall perspective or view of a situation, to jot down, to write something quickly and informally, to clear my head, to stop worrying or thinking about something, to block out time, to reserve a specific time slot for an activity.
Next up, let's do the idioms and phrases about managing tasks and effort.
To tackle the big rocks first, to prioritize and do the most important tasks first, to bite off more than you can chew, to take on a task or responsibility that is too big to handle, to get sidetracked, to become distracted from your main goal. Easier said than done. Used to say that something seems easy but is actually very difficult. To kill two birds with one stone. To achieve two things with a single action.
And finally, some great phrases for taking action and how we feel about it.
To follow through, to complete a plan or promise, to hit the ground running, to start something with great energy and immediate success, to wind down, to relax after a period of activity, peace of mind, a feeling of calm and not being worried, to play it by ear, to decide what to do as a situation develops without a firm plan, the early bird or a night owl, a person who gets up early, a person who stays up late. Grab and go describes food that is ready to be taken away and eaten immediately.
Wow, that's a fantastic list. Hearing them all together really helps to lock them in your memory.
It does. And now we have a question for all of you listening. After hearing our conversation, who do you relate to more?
Yes. Are you an Alex who maps out the week in detail and loves a good to-do list? Or are you a Chloe who prefers to play it by ear and ease into the week? There's no right or wrong answer.
We would love to hear about your Sunday routines. Do you have any special planning tips or tricks that help you get a head start on the week? Let us know in the comments on our YouTube channel or on our website. We read every single one.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us and for diving deep into Sunday planning with us.
We hope you feel equipped with some new vocabulary and maybe a little inspiration for the week ahead. We'll be back soon with another episode.
Until then, take care.
Bye.